After all of these years, we finally have concrete information about Season 4 of The Dragon Prince. Not a lot of concrete information, mind you, and perhaps not as much as some of us wanted, but we do have some. We finally have confirmation that the show is going to be coming out in 2022 for its 4th season. We are not going to have to wait until 2023 unless something strange and unpredictable happens. And, perhaps as importantly, we know what the big subtitle for this next section of the show is going to be: the mystery of Aravos. But what is this mystery of Aravos? What dark secrets is he hiding? Do these have to do with the primordial origins of this world and the start of the conflict between the humans and the elves and dragons? Is uncovering these secrets central to uncovering the solutions on how to heal this conflict and how to start a new era of peace and harmony and prosperity in this world? And how will these secrets affect the sadly, tragically burgeoning relationship between Aravos and Claudia, with her being far more likely to sink into the dark mire of his influence as the show progresses? Now, as stated previously, the Dragon Prince is moving into its second big block, so to speak. Its first block was seasons 1, 2, and 3. These were all produced somewhat simultaneously. And then there was a large blockage of time in which no one was working on the show, and it hadn't even been renewed yet. But now that it has been renewed, they've started work on the second major section of the show out of 3 total sections, this section being the mystery of Aravos. This will be books 4, 5, and 6. All of these seasons are being worked on simultaneously, if in different stages. So what that means practically is that season 5 is probably going to come out sometime in 2023. Probably 6 to 9 months after season 4. And then season 6 is going to follow 6 to 9 months after that. Certainly no more than a year. I really doubt that we are going to experience these long and unfortunate gaps like the 3 years between season 3 and season 4, at least until we get into the wait between season 6 and season 7. Now, I know a lot of fans were disappointed that we did not get a more concrete indication of when the show was going to release its 4th season than just 2022. But that's specific enough for me. It means the show is going to release sometime in the next 6 months, which is exciting. There is going to be a lot more information revealed in the lead-up to the shows, so I think we should be patient. I know we have been waiting a ridiculously long time, but considering how close we are to the end of the wait, I believe just taking a step back and thinking about the long-term future of the show is the best strategy going forward. We haven't even gotten to San Diego Comic-Con yet, which is going to be back up and running at full strength. It's going to be exciting. And we haven't even gotten to New York Comic-Con, which is when the show has dropped a lot of significant information in the past. For instance, that's when the Season 3 release date was announced. Considering that a late 2022 release date is most likely, I think it's reasonable to assume that Season 4 is going to be released about 3 years to the month or so from when Season 3 was released, meaning November or December. Which means I suspect the official release date will probably be revealed in New York Comic-Con, which is exciting, and it's even more exciting because I might be there if it's an actual full normal Comic-Con and not any restricted convention with all these rules and regulations that people are still imposing all these years after the first breakout of COVID and all these cancellations. If there's none of that, I might come. It sounds like it would be a good time. We're a good long time past the time when everyone got vaccinated, and I think it's long past time that everything got back to being normal. But while I think we should be excited for the show that is to come, and we should be excited that we are actually going to get Season 4 this year, we should also think about what these mysteries of Aravos are going to be, because that is quite intriguing. Aravos is certainly the most mysterious being in the show. He is thousands of years old at least, far more ancient than any of these other creatures and people and elves and dragons. He is possibly the inventor of dark magic. We don't know that for sure, but I wouldn't doubt it, considering how affiliated he seems to be with dark magic, considering how he's fine with promoting its usage, and considering how he, likely for his own selfish purposes, takes the side of the humans against the dragons and the elves. It makes sense that he would help the humans uncover and use dark magic, since that's their greatest asset against the dragons and the elves. Now, I'm perfectly fine with not every single little aspect about his character being made perfectly clear and unambiguous. Mallarmé, a brilliant French symbolist, poet, and one of my favorite writers, talks quite a bit about the need for mystery, for ambiguity, for concealment, and how it creates this space away from the utilitarian and the orderly and the ordinary. When all is made obvious, blunt, and unambiguous, the magic and enchantment is lost to utilitarianism. Oscar Wilde, in talking about the importance of masks and concealment and hiding, says something quite similar. But, of course, there's a difference between being purposefully enigmatic and mysterious to preserve that sense of unknowability and enchantment, and just not knowing what you're doing. Not giving us any information about Aravos would not be good for the future of this show. It would make his character more annoying than intriguing. At a certain point, you need to at least be willing to unveil certain aspects of your big antagonist's character, and the longer you wait to do this, the more likely it becomes that the antagonist is not quite as satisfying as he could have been. I know everyone constantly berates the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones, and so I know that they've become a bit of an easy target, a bit of a punching bag, but nonetheless, fish should not be, as I once heard, granted clemency just because they happen to be located in the proximity of a barrel. In Season 8 of Game of Thrones, we don't learn much of anything about the White Walkers. They're supposed to be these mysterious, enigmatic, existential threats, and then they're just gotten rid of a couple episodes into Season 8. All that build-up for not a lot of payoff. We don't really get a sense of what they want, or what's driving them, or what they really stand for, and what really brought them together. No, they're just these hordes of ice zombies that look interesting, but don't actually have any deeper layers to them, which was unfortunate. Hopefully the Dragon Prince goes in a better route with Aravos, as I'm sure it will. Now, how will we see Aravos' secrets be unveiled? How will we see all his schemes appear in the show? He is not really on the radars of Callum and Rayla. They're not really paying any attention to him. I mean, they might know that something's a bit off about Viren with his tendency to refer to his little bug pal, but they don't know that much about Aravos. Viren might be the one to end up telling them about Aravos if he changes sides, which is a real possibility considering how he was destroyed by the influence of Aravos, how he basically became a mindless puppet of Aravos by the end. He was saved and brought back to life by Claudia, but I don't think he will remain firmly on the side of Aravos. But because our main heroes don't know a lot about Aravos at this juncture, all of these secrets, though they might be revealed to our protagonists later, will likely come to us through the interactions between Aravos and the characters that he's most closely associating with. And considering where we leave our heroes at the end of Season 3, it makes sense that he would be most closely associating with Claudia. She is the one who is drifting further and further out from the shores of morality and basic compassionate goodness. She is sinking further into extremism and radicalism, embracing the dark influence and powers of dark magic, and thus is likely going to keep turning toward Aravos, considering how much Aravos knows, considering Aravos would likely offer himself as Claudia's only real practical ally. She's lonely, she's miserable, and she is increasingly willing to resort to extreme actions in order to achieve the ideals that she so treasures. These are perfect conditions for one to fall further into the web of a mystic, dark manipulator like Aravos. Obviously, he doesn't want to reveal all his plans to Claudia, only as much as she needs to know to trust him. But we might know a lot more about his plans in these upcoming seasons, and I hope they're interesting and reveal a lot about his history and his basic ideology, and I hope it's more complicated than just, oh, this guy is evil. But we will see. Was he as puzzling to the elves in the past as he is to us? Or are there people who were alive in the past, or even are alive now, who can help shed some light on him and his ambitions? We will have to see. So thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this before anyone else. Keep watching the first 3 seasons of The Dragon Prince. I might give them a rewatch myself now that Season 4 is finally approaching. It's so weird that it's finally coming now after all these years of waiting and all the videos I made speculating about when it would come out. Anyway, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon. Promise you that. Thank you all again. Adios, comrades.